today we'll be building real-time language translation tool. So first we'll be giving the text in the English, and we can translate the same text into numerous languages. For this, we'll be making use of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, as well as the MyMemory API. So let's start by creating the HTML file. I'll just name the HTML file as index.html. Let me create the CSS file as well. I'll just give the name of the file as style.css. I'll just come to index.html. Let me create very basic HTML template. I'll just name this one real-time language translation tool, right? Next, what I'll do, I'll just make use of the link tag, and I'll just link the style sheet as well as give the path and name style.css. Next, let's start writing the HTML code. Initially, what I'll do, I'll just consider the div and give the class of the name container. So this is going to be the parent div. Next, what I'll do, I'll just make use of the h1 and I'll give language translation tool. So I have just made use of the h1 tag. Within that, I have given language translation tool. Next, let me make use of the text area. I don't need name, so I'll just delete the name. I want to make use of the ID of, I'll give input text. Also, I want to make use of the placeholder. I'll just give enter text to translate, right? So this is going to be the text area. Next, let me make use of the select and give the options, right? Let me give not the section, sorry. It is select. So I don't want to make use of the name. I just want to make use of the ID. So select of ID, I'll give language select. So within this, I'll just paste the languages that we are able to translate. So I'll just copy this one. Let me cut this from here. Let me paste it over here. So I have mentioned the GitHub repo in the description, so you can get it from there itself. So I'll just format the document once. After the select, what I'll do, I'll just make use of the button. So within the button, I'll be making use of ID translate button, sorry. ID, they give anything down? So yeah, sorry. ID, this is going to be translate button. Let me give translate here. So next, what I'll do, I'll just make use of one more div and I'll give the ID output text. So let me format the document here. So this is it for the HTML. Next, what we'll do, let's start writing the style file, right? I mean CSS. I'll come here. I just want to make use of the pop-in spawn. I'll just open the Chrome. Let me search for, give me a second. So yeah. Click on the first link. Let's wait for some time. Yeah. Get font, get embed code, import. Just copy these 3 lines, right? Let me copy these 3 lines and paste it over here. Let's style for the, just give me a second. Let's style for the body first. So what I'll do, I'll just come here again I'll copy this one. Font family. Let me paste it over here. The primary font will be making use of is PowerPoint. If something goes wrong, we'll be making use of sans serif. Let me give margin of 0, padding of 0, display, flex, justify content, center, align items, center, min height, 100 view height, background, linear gradient, and just give 135 degree. Let me make use of 3F2 D96 as well as the another color. See, double F. So these two colors I'll be making use of. Let me make use of the color white or triple F. So this is it for the body. Next, let's style for the container. I'll just come here. I'll copy this one and I'll paste it over here. For the container, sorry, just give me a second. Yeah, background out. Just make use of the RGBA 000 and 0.8. Let me give padding of 40 pixel, border radius of 15 pixel, also box shadow 0, 8 pixel, 16 pixel, also RGBA of 0.4, width of 90%, max width of, I'll just give 800 pixel, text align, center, transition, let me give transform 0.3 seconds, ease, right? So this is it for the container. Next, let's style for the container, but on hover. I'll just make use of the hover. Let me give transform, translate by of -5 pixel. So next, let's style for the H1. So I'll just come here and just copy this one. Let me copy this one and paste it over here. So for H1, let me give margin bottom of 30 pixel, also font weight of 600, color F7. This is it for the H1. Next, let's style for text area. I'll just copy this one. Let me paste it over here. Also, select this one. I'll just copy this one. And button. So I'll just scroll here and just copy the button, right? Let me give here. So width, I'll just take 100% minus 20 pixel. So padding 12 pixel, margin 15 pixel and 0, also border 2 pixel, solid, transparent, border radius 8 pixel, font size 25 pixel, outline I'll just give none, also transition let me give border color 0.3 seconds and ease. Let me make use of background, linear gradient of 135 degree, and just make use of one C head. This is CB, sorry, 257 5 FC. So next I'll be making use of the color white. So I'll just give open there. So this is it for the text area select as well as the button. We'll design for the individually for the select and text area. So I'll just give select, just give color black as well as the background color white. Then what I'll do, let's style for the text area, resize, and just give none. Also height of 150 pixel. Next, let's style for the text area on focus. Also select, sorry, this is select again. Select on focus, also button on focus. So for all these three, I'll just give border color of F0, 0, F0. So next what I'll do, let's style for the button. Let's write CSS for the button. Let me give background or linear gradient of 135 degree F16 A70 FEA C5. So this is it for the background. Next, color, I'll make use of white, cursor, pointer, font weight of 600, also text transform on uppercase. So this is it for the button. Next, let's style for the button on hover, right? So for this one, I'll just give background of linear gradient, (14) E 5E F68 V4A. So this is it for the button on hover. Next, let's style for the output text. So I'll just copy this one, right? I'll just make this one capital T. So I'll just copy the same thing. And if we make use of hash as it is ID, let me give margin top of 30 pixel, font size of 20 pixel, font weight of 400, main height 70 pixel, background 255 thrice as well as 0.2. Next, padding of 15 pixel, border radius of 10 pixel, box shadow of 8 pixel as well as RGBA of 0.5. color, let me make use of 0, 0, right? So this is it for the CSS file. So what I have done is I have installed an extension called live server. Let's wait for some time. Yeah, this is the one. What this does is whenever we make changes in the index.html file, the changes gets directly reflected in the browser so that we don't have to read the page again and again to see the changes. So this will be very helpful. You can install it as well. I'll just close this one. Let me come to index.html, right click and click on open with live server. So I'll just close this one. Yeah, this is looking like this. So I'll just give the capital E right initially. Where is the placeholder? Basically, yeah, here. So that this looks good. So yeah, here, this is looking like this. Here also. Yeah, this is looking like this. So we have this one, right? By making use of the JavaScript, if I give some text, hi, I'm Bharadwaj. Let me give this text, and if I click some language, suppose I'll randomly select some language, spec. So if I click on translate, we have to get the, translated text, right? In the Uzbek language. So that will be doing with the help of JavaScript. Let me create JavaScript file. I'll just name it index.js. Just give me a second. I'll just place the JS file after the closing of body tag. I'll just make use of the script src index.js. Let me format the document once. Just move this one index.js to the right side. Now what we'll do, we'll start writing the JavaScript code. First, what we have to do, we'll get the references to the all the necessary HTML elements. What are the necessary HTML elements? Translate button, input text, output text, as well as the language select. Once we start writing the code, you'll get to know. Let's start writing the JavaScript code, right? I'll just make use of the variable name translate button. I'll just make use of document get element by ID of translate button. Where is the translate button coming from? Just give me a second. So this has to be input text, right? So I'll just make the T caps. So translate button, and just give me a second here. This one, translate button, ID of translate button, we have given inside the button. So I'll just copy this one and I'll paste it over here. Just copy the same thing thrice just below the translate button. I'll just change this one to input text element. So document.get element by ID of input text, right? So input text, where is the input text coming from? So I have to go again here. Give me a second. Yeah, this one. I'll just copy the same thing. Come here and paste it. This is one. Next thing, output text element. So let me change this one to output text element. So get element by ID of output text, right? Where is output text coming from? Here. This one. I'll just copy the same thing and I'll paste it over here. Finally, language select. Language select, right? Of language select. Where is the language select coming from? I'll just come here. This one, ID of language select we have given, right? I'll just copy this one and paste it over here. So what we have done, we have got all the references to the necessary HTML elements we want to make use, right? Next, what we'll do, we'll add the click event listener to the translate button. I'll just give translate button dot add event listener of click, right? Next, let me make use of async call the function. First, what we'll do, first step, we'll get the input text and target language selected by us or selected by the user. For that one, I'll be making use of the variable name input text. This will be input text element dot value. We need the value, right? So this is just value, and I'll be making use of trim. So next, I'll make use of the variable name target language select bag. Next step, we'll check if the input text is empty. This one here, if the input text is empty, right? So we'll just give some alert like please enter the text to translate. We have to give some text, right, for the translation. For that, I'll just make use of the if condition, and I'll give input text. If it is empty text, then I'll give the alert of please enter text to translate. This is one thing. This is it. Next, what we'll do, we'll try to fetch the translation. Fetch the translation using an API, right? So I'll just comment this one in and write for the reference. Attempt to fetch the translation using an API. So I'll just make use of the try and catch. So let me come here. I already have the API. I'll just paste it over here. So let me format the document once. So here, let me correct this one. Give me a second. Yeah. Next, what we'll do, we'll check if the fetch request was successful. This one, I'll be providing the GitHub link in the description. You can get the API from there itself, or if you want to type, you can just pause and type. So I'll just show here. I just make use of the response variable, and I have given await as well as fetch of the API. So here is the API. You can just pause this one and type. So next, what I'll do, let me check if the fetch request was successful, right? I'll just make use of the if condition for the same. I'll give if response is not successful. Then we'll throw the error by making use of throw new. Sorry, this is just error. Can give anything. I'll just give failed to fetch translation. Next step, what we'll do, we'll parse the JSON response. For that one, I'll be making use of the variable name data, give await of a response dot JSON. So next, we'll extract the translated text from the response. How we can extract the translated text? Let me give translated text variable name, and let me make use of data dot response data dot translated text. Next, if the translated text is empty, right, we can make use of fallback translation from the matches. For that also, we'll be making use of the if condition. If not of translated text data matches, and also matches length, if it is greater than 0, Then let's give translated text equals data matches of 0 translation. So this is it. Next, we'll display the translated text in the output text element, right? Or we'll show the message. If the translation is not available, then we'll be showing the message. So for that one, I'll be making use of output text element dot inner HTML. So not inner HTML, basically it's inner text equals, let me give translated text, or we have to give the message, right? The message I'll give translation not available. This is it. Next, what we'll do, we'll write the catch block to catch any error, if any error in the API. So I'll just make use of the console log. So I'll just give error. So here, this has to be capital E. Let me call error here. Next, what I'll do, I'll just give alert translation fail. Please try again, right? So this is it for the JavaScript. I'll just format the document once. Just give me a second. Yeah, I'll just format the document once. Now let's check. So let me give I am Bharadwaj. What are you doing? So let me give Afrikaans itself. Let's see whether this is working. So when I click on the translate, this is giving something. I really don't know. So I'll just select the Kannada, right? I'll just come here. Let me select Kannada. Let me give translate. Hi, Nanu Bharadwaj. Neevu enu madutiddiri. This one is correct, right? So this is getting correctly translated. Let me choose Telugu. Let me come here and give. Nenu Bharadwaj, Meeru Emi Chestunnaru. This is also correct, right? Hi, Nenu Bharadwaj, Meeru Emi Chestunnaru. So I hope this is correct in Telugu. And also, let's check with Hindi. I'll just come here. Just give me a second. So yeah, I'll just select Hindi. Let me turn the translate button. So, hi, मैं Bharadwaj हूँ. तुम क्या कर रहे हो? So, this is also working correct. So, everything is working properly. This is it. Thanks for watching, guys.